If Josh leaves his damn socks in the kitchen one more time, I swear I'm going to combust. They're always there. One sad cotton soldier near the fridge, the other draped over a chair like it died in battle. A year of this. A full, dizzying, maddening year of shared space with a man who treats countertops like dumping grounds and believes cleaning spray is a government conspiracy. Meanwhile, I live by calendars, by color codes, by the quiet harmony of order. We're opposites, storm and stillness. Hey, neat freak, breathe, he grinned this morning, bedhead wild, boxers slung low enough to make my neck flush. He stood barefoot on my clean tiles, watching me pinch his socks like they were crime evidence. Life's more fun when it's a little messy. That grin, smug, lopsided, reckless. God, I hate it. And I hate how my stomach knots every time I see it. How I have to pretend I'm very interested in my cereal when he walks past shirtless, muscles flexing with every lazy stretch, skin warm and golden like he's a walking summer. But the worst part? I don't really hate any of it. Not even close. The heater gave out last night, right in the middle of a goddamn snowstorm. Of course it did. We ended up huddled under 3 blankets on opposite ends of the couch, steam rising from our mugs, breath misting in the cold air. We argued about space, elbows, the exact definition of sharing. But then just silence. And then him. Come on, Caleb. We'll both freeze unless we share the bed, he said softly, his voice rough from the cold and something else. His eyes met mine, those infuriatingly soft brown eyes that never seemed to match the chaos in his wake. I should have said no. I should have made him sleep on the floor like the overgrown man-child he is. But I didn't. Now here we are, side by side, inches apart in the narrow bed, buried under layers of warmth. I can feel him, his heat, his heartbeat, the faint scent of cedar and fabric softener clinging to him. The room is quiet except for the snow tapping against the windows and his breathing, slow, steady, real. You always this stiff in bed? He murmurs, his voice teasing but low, like a secret shared in the dark. I should have rolled my eyes. I should have shoved him. But instead I laughed, quiet, unguarded, too human. And when his fingers brushed mine under the covers, tentative and warm, I didn't pull away. I couldn't. Because in that moment, in the hush of winter and shared breath, his touch felt like home. That night, something shifted in the dark. It was subtle, just a shift in breath, a silence filled with more than sleep. And suddenly, it wasn't so cold anymore. I couldn't sleep. Not with his shoulder pressed so gently against mine, his warmth seeping into my bones like sunlight through frost. His breathing was steady, deep, rhythmic, like a lullaby I didn't know I needed. It should have been calming. But my heart was racing. I turned slightly, thinking he was asleep. But he turned too. Our noses nearly brushed. And then it happened. He kissed me. No smirk. No punchline. No drunken haze. Just Josh, closing the distance, eyes wide open, lips tentative, like a question he was afraid to ask but needed to. It wasn't rushed. It wasn't a firecracker. It was a slow burn. Soft. Real. Careful. Like he'd imagined it 100 different ways, and was finally brave enough to try the one that felt like truth. When he pulled back, there was something raw in his eyes. Fear, maybe. Or hope. Maybe both. I couldn't speak. Not because I didn't want to, but because words felt too clumsy, too shallow for something so quietly life-changing. Because the truth was, I'd wanted it too. For so long. I'd buried it, shoved it down between sarcasm and side eyes, pretending the tension wasn't there. But now that it had happened, I didn't know how to unfeel it. And suddenly, everything's different. We don't talk about the kiss. Not really. But it echoes between us and everything. The air feels charged now, like we're always standing on the edge of something. Every look is too long. Every brush of skin, electric. When he leans over me on the couch to grab the remote, I forget how to breathe. When I drop a spoon, he catches it before it hits the floor, and holds my hand a beat too long. He doesn't let go immediately, and I don't want him to. But we're unraveling slowly, beautifully and messily. We argue more now. Petty things. Dumb things. Like the last piece of toast, or how he always leaves cabinet doors open like a horror movie villain. But the arguments aren't about the toast. Or the dishes. They're about how neither of us knows what the hell we're doing with this. Whatever this is. I'll move out. I snapped yesterday after one of those fights. Louder than necessary, more hurt in my voice than I meant to let slip. His face went pale. No, he said quickly, his voice breaking like it couldn't bear the weight of the word. Don't. Silence. And then softer, eyes pleading. I don't want to stop seeing you every day. And neither do I. But God, I'm scared. Because if I let him in, if I truly open the door I've been holding shut for so long, I don't think I'll ever be able to close it again. And I don't know what's more terrifying, the thought of falling, or the thought of him not catching me. One day, it finally exploded. He came home late, reeking of smoke and bar chatter, laughter still clinging to him like the scent of strangers. His cheeks were flushed, his jacket askew. And when he tossed his keys on the counter like nothing mattered, something in me cracked. Why do you even live here if you don't give a damn about me? I snapped, voice too loud, too sharp, like it had been waiting weeks to escape. He froze. The smile faded from his face, and for the first time in a long time, he looked truly caught. Hurt. Like I'd pulled the rug out from under him. Then quieter, broken. I give a damn, Caleb. I've been trying to pretend I don't, but I do. I think about that kiss every day. The room held its breath, and I whispered the truth I'd tried to bury under 1,000 distractions. So do I. He stepped forward, 1-2 strides, and closed the distance between us like it physically hurt to stay apart. Then he kissed me. Harder this time. Desperate. Like he was trying to say everything he couldn't find the words for. Like he was sorry. Like he needed me. Like he finally stopped running. That night, we didn't just share a bed. We gave in. To the quiet things. To the aching, careful undoing of walls we'd built. To whispered confessions, clumsy fingers, mouths finding each other again and again like magnets too long kept apart. There were no labels. No promises. Just heat and heart and something so fragile it scared me. And when I woke up, his arm heavy around me, his breath warm against the back of my neck, I didn't feel tense. Or restless. Or lost. I felt calm. Like maybe I wasn't too much. Like maybe I wasn't broken in the way I'd always feared. Like maybe someone could actually see all the messy, jagged parts of me and still want to stay. He stirred beside me, lips brushing my skin. Morning sunshine, he murmured, voice rough and golden with sleep. I closed my eyes, smiled, and hated how much I loved it. How much I wanted to hear it again. We didn't go anywhere that day. We ordered takeout. Ate half-naked on the floor. Watched bad movies we barely paid attention to. He kissed my shoulder in the middle of a sentence. I ran my fingers through his hair while he complained about plot holes. It was easy. Too easy. But beneath the kisses and lazy smiles, a question hovered like smoke in the corners of the room. What are we now? Neither of us asked. Maybe because we were afraid of the answer. Or maybe because for one fleeting day, pretending was enough. But I've been burned before. So has he. We carry scars like warnings. We just wear them in different places. And this thing, this delicate, tangled thing we're holding, it could be the best mistake of my life. Or the beginning of everything I never dared to hope for. However, I knew it was bound to happen. People aren't blind. The shift between us was subtle at first. Brushed shoulders that lingered too long, late-night laughs with a softness underneath. But it grew louder. Unmistakable. Friends started raising eyebrows. Josh's ex texted him at midnight. So you and your roommate now? Cute. He didn't reply. Just showed me the screen and shrugged. My sister called the next day, her voice laced with confusion and curiosity. Why didn't you tell me? She asked. Do you love him? I didn't know how to answer. I was still trying to name it myself. So one night, wrapped in silence and the faint hum of the heater, I turned to him. My chest tight. Is this even real? I asked. My voice cracked on the last word. He looked up from where he was folding a blanket, badly of course. And his frown broke my heart a little. Do you feel real when I touch you? Yes. Then stop looking for reasons to run. I looked at him, at the curve of his jaw, the tired defiance in his eyes, the tenderness he never tried to hide anymore. And I wanted to believe him. But I was scared. Not of him. Of what it meant. Of how easily this could break. Of how I always managed to mess things up just when they started to feel good. He didn't let me spiral. He stepped forward, took my hands, and pressed them to his chest like he needed me to feel his heartbeat to believe him. "I don't want anyone else," he whispered. "Just you. Mess and all." I blinked, swallowing the lump in my throat, nodding before I could talk myself out of it. Maybe I was still scared. But I was done running. Now. We still argue. We still stumble. He still leaves socks like little traps in the hallway. I still follow him around with coasters like I'm on a mission from God. Sometimes I think we fight just to kiss and make up afterward. His hands in my hair, my back against the kitchen counter, both of us forgetting what started it in the first place. He makes me coffee every morning. Still terrible, burnt and watery, but there's always something scribbled in marker on the mug. A smiley face. A crude drawing of us stick-figured and holding hands. Once it just said stay. Every night, no matter how the day's gone, we crawl into the same bed. I fit into him like I was always meant to. And he holds me like I'm not a burden. Like I'm the best part of his life. We started as roommates. Now he's the reason my heart beats just a little faster when I turn the key in the door. To love someone who sees every piece of you. Your chaos, your sharp edges, your silence, your doubt. And stays? That's the kind of love I never thought I deserved. But Josh, he proved me wrong. Every damn day. And I don't plan on letting him go. Not now. Not ever. We didn't mean to keep it a secret. At first, it just felt easier, safer, to keep it in the walls of our apartment. In our messy kitchen and cramped bedroom. In the stolen glances when we passed each other a bowl of cereal. In the warmth of his hand on my back when we thought no one was looking. But love has a way of leaking out. And ours, it was starting to show. It started with small things. He called me babe in front of our neighbors and didn't even notice. I caught myself smiling too wide when he made a dumb joke at the grocery store. He reached for my hand on the train once, then pulled back like he'd touched fire. Then came the dinner with our friends. It was supposed to be casual, pizza, wine, bad movie night. But halfway through, as I leaned into Josh's side on the couch, I realized everyone had gone quiet. My best friend Mia raised an eyebrow. "You guys dating or just doing a really intimate reenactment of when Harry met Sally?" I choked on my wine. Josh didn't flinch. He slid his arm more securely around me and said, "Yeah, we are." The room went still. Then Mia smiled, wide and real. Finally. It was like exhaling after months of holding my breath. But not everyone smiled. A week later, his mother called. He put her on speaker without thinking. Her voice was cold, sharpened by religion and expectation. "So you're with a man now?" Josh didn't blink. "I'm with Caleb." I stood frozen across the room, heart thudding so loud I was sure she could hear it through the phone. "You know what this means, Joshua. You'll be cut off. From me. From your family. Is he worth that?" Silence stretched between us like a blade. And then Josh said, steady and certain, "Yes." I walked over, took his hand, and for the first time, I believed we could survive anything. We fought later, of course. He was angry, sad, scared. I told him I'd understand if he wanted to back out, if this was too much. He shook his head and pulled me to him. "Losing my family hurts," he whispered, "but losing you would destroy me." From that moment, it wasn't just love. It was commitment. We learned how to weather the stares, the silences, the friends who stopped calling, but also the new family we built. One made of late-night talks, ugly cries on the floor, forehead kisses, and terrible sitcoms. Mia came over more often. My sister sent a card. "You seem happy." That's all I ever wanted. There were hard days. Still are. But now, every night, he pulls me close and says, "We're good, yeah?" And every time, I kiss his shoulder, press my cheek to his back, and whisper, "We're good." Because we are. We didn't plan this. We didn't expect to fall in love. But we did. Messily. Madly. Honestly. And it's the bravest thing we've ever done.